Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube, and these are my thoughts and spoilers of Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 4, Faster. So, Hunter and Echo are on a mission to transport Nerf Nuggets. We don't see them in this episode whatsoever. This is also not a crosshair episode either. We are just with Wrecker, Tech, and Omega, and they're hanging out at Sid's place, and we see Wrecker and Omega playing that sort of Star Wars chess. And then Sid decides that, okay, look, even though two of your boys are out doing a mission, I could still use you two, well, you three, including Omega, to be my muscle, so to speak, at the Riot Racing. Riot Racing is very similar to pod racing, but this time round, the racers themselves, they also have weapons on board, so they're shooting at each other as they're going around in circles. And we do see a lot of the racers. Some of them are protocol droids, similar to C3PO. And Sid has her own droid at the Riot Racing. It's a droid called Teo, who seems to have a lot of charisma and a lot of character, and seems to be very successful as well. He wins his initial race we see him in, and makes Sid some money. And then Sid has a score to settle with a guy called Nalengi. He seems to be like the local gangster of this area. A very, very big looking alien with some heavies of his own, including the Gamorreans. That pig looking alien is one of his bodyguards. Anyway, him and Sid have a score to settle, as I said earlier, and in the next race we see Tao doing his thing, Sid's droid racer, and then eventually he gets fucked over in that race. His racer gets destroyed. He gets destroyed in the process, and Sid now owes this local gangster called Nalengi some credits. Now she doesn't have enough to pay this guy, so she's pretty much owing her life to him. So Omega, out of desperation, decides, okay, look, in the next race we'll do double or nothing. If we win, then you give us Sid back. If we lose, then we give you double what Sid owes you. And what Sid owes him already is a lot of credit. So they have to win. Now, Tech, being the genius that he is, he initially repairs Teo, and it's funny to see Teo and Tech having their interactions, because Tech comes across more of the droid, even though he's a human, so to speak. Whilst Teo comes across as more of a human, even with, and not really acting like a droid, not acting like a machine, not acting like somebody who would have calculations running through them and all of that, which is what Tech was going about when he was discussing strategies in the next race with Teo. But Teo's arrogance and naivety gets the best of him, and he actually accidentally gets destroyed again by a pod racer in a race that was happening around them. And so now Teo's out of action, and so Tech decides to step up and become the racer instead. And I kind of saw this coming. This kind of felt like a Tech episode again. It's good to see Tech get more screen time and just being seen as a valuable member of the team. He's a very, for me, I find him a very endearing character. He's the least emotional of all the Bad Batch. He doesn't really show much emotion. At the same time, he's a very intelligent character, but doesn't come across as arrogant either. It's he just believes in his own knowledge, and it's really good to see him get some more screen time. But honestly, in season one, Tech was just a background character. So props to him. He decides to become the racer to help save Sid, and we see him in the race. And initially in this race, he's not doing too well. He's very slow. He's not able to catch up with the racers ahead of him, who are far more experienced than he is. And he decides one of the things he wants to do to get more speed is that he decides to ditch his weapons. So he discards them. So now he's got more speed. He's able to catch up with the other racers, but he's got no weapons, and everyone's shooting the shit out of each other. And also on this racetrack, there are 3 tunnels, and the left tunnel is the most dangerous tunnel. I'm thinking the left tunnel. I was thinking Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Don't take the left tunnel, and they took the left tunnel. And Tech's able to catch up. One of the racers decides to also follow him in the left tunnel and gets fucked over and dies, I guess. But Tech manages to, succeed and go through the left tunnel where lots of the track was missing, so he's having to, go upside down and stuff like that because he needs his vehicle to be on some sort of substance, so to speak, around it. It can't hover over thin air. It needs to be hovering over something. So it's flying upside down because the bottom part of the track is gone. Eventually, Tech gets through and he's able to catch up. And there was a maneuver in the second race which Tao was in, which destroyed Tao, and that maneuver was going to be used on Tech, but Tech outsmarts the racers to stop the maneuver happening on him. The maneuver sabotages the racers themselves. Tech is able to win the race, and Sid is saved. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a really nice a really nice just episode with a couple of the Bad Batch, but not all of them. And it's just cool to see interactions between them. Like, you got the toughest and hardest and strongest Bad Batch member in Wrecker, and then you've got the smartest in Tech, and seeing their interactions. And there's no malice between them or anything like that. They've both got each other's back. They're not ripping on each other. Tech's not calling Wrecker a stupid oaf or anything like that. It's pretty cool to see. Anyway, Sid is saved. They go to this guy Nalengi to say to pick her up, and Nalengi actually admires the loyalty these guys have towards Sid, but tells them as well, listen, it's not a two-way street with Sid. Watch your back, because she won't watch yours. She won't have yours. And that's how the episode ended. Thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Nothing too spectacular, just a more, I don't want to say necessarily a slice of life, but just a little adventure where somebody within their group, so to speak, is in a little bit of trouble, and so they have to figure out a way of rescuing that person from that trouble. And I liked it. It was a good episode. I just love this show. It's just such a good show. The characters are very endearing. It's not the plots and the storylines for each episode are not overly complicated, but they are It's an enjoyable ride for what it is, and it's decently paced as well. At 25 minutes, they have to cram in a lot and get it all done. Yeah, I liked it. So what am I gonna mark it? I should maybe give it 7 out of 10, or maybe I'll give it 8 out of 10. What do you think? What do you think, Fat Boy? 8 out of 10? 8 out of 10? Yeah, okay, 8 out of 10 it is. So let me know what you think of this episode. Let me just put him back on my bowl because he's eating my leftovers. There we go, and now he's done. So let me know what you think of this particular episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this is one of the better Star Wars projects that have come from Disney since they took over the brand. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel that you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.